Hi guys, it's Amy with A2Z Stamping, and today I want to do a cute little card using the Watts of Occasions stamp set. This is a clear mount stamp set, meaning that it's on the red rubber, and I just love this stamp set when I first saw it in the annual catalog. It's got the light bulbs, the 5 light bulbs, and then there are 5 sentiments. Merry and bright, which is cute with the little tree. You light up my life. Sorry you're feeling burned out, which I love that with the sad face light bulb. I think you're brilliant. Love you, Watts and Watts. And then there's these little lines that you can make look like light. But I'm just gonna make a sweet little card up for my husband. It's actually not gonna be for Valentine's Day, but since this is, you know, February and all, I was inspired by the love you, Watts and Watts. So I'm gonna use the light bulb with the heart. Anyway, I'll show you this quick little card that I did. Okay, so I have a piece of Whisper White cardstock that I've already cut to what I want it to be. Let's see here. This is cut at 1 3/4, and it is about 4 3/4 long, but I used the banner triple punch. Let me show you the punch right here. I used my punch already to punch it into a banner, so it was a little bit longer than the 4 3/4, because when you punch it, you lose a little bit of the space. Okay, so I'm gonna just stamp, and I'm gonna use, nope, not my Versamark. I'm gonna use my Memento ink because I want to use my Stampin' blends. And whenever you're using the blends, you want to use you don't want to use our archival ink because it will bleed. So I'm just gonna stamp it right here at the top. 1, 2, 3, and lift. Perfect. And then I'll set that aside. And then I have another piece of Whisper White cardstock, maybe. Looks like I've lost it here, so I'll have to cut myself a new one. I was working on these away from home, and I may have lost something in the transporting. Okay, hold on, I gotta measure real quick what I need. I need a piece of Whisper White cardstock cut at 1 3/4 by 1. So I have a little scrap here, and let me grab my paper trimmer. So I need it to be, come on, 1 3/4 by 1. And line that right up right there. Close this. There we go. Simple. Easy peasy. All right, and on this one, I'm gonna stamp the love you, Watts and Watts. That's why I always keep your scraps. Did you see how tiny that scrap was? And I keep it in my Whisper White scraps so that when I need something, I can grab it real quick. Actually, does that look crooked? It looks crooked, but that's okay. It looks like I trimmed the one side. Let me just check the other side. That might have been an uneven piece of, let's see. No, it looks like it's straight. Maybe it's just my eyes. Okay. Love you, Watts and Watts. Okay, let me get this right on here and stamp. Cute. All right. And I will clean those off in a second. That's all I need with that. Okay, so next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this back, and I'm gonna do a little bit of coloring. So I have half of my Stampin' blends here, and I'm gonna grab the Daffodil Delight and the Calypso Coral Light. So I have the Daffodil Delight Dark and the Calypso Coral, let's see, this is the dark. Is that the one I wanna use? I think so. Calypso Coral, or do I wanna use light? Oh, I'm gonna actually go with light. Decisions. Okay. And first thing I want to do is I'm going to take the fatter end, and I'm just going to outline my light bulb just because, you know, it's a light bulb. All right. That's all I'm doing there. And then I'm just going to color in the heart with the Calypso Coral. You could do this with a blender pen too if you don't have the Stampin' blends, or you could use a, if you have the ink pads, you could do a blender pen, or you could do the Stampin' Right markers. That would work as well. All right, and that's all I need of that. And now we can put our card together. Okay, so I have a piece of Wild Wasabi, and I just made the banner just a little bit wider than the banner I have here. So this one is 2 inches wide, and so it's just a little bit longer. And do you see how the blends, they do bleed through your paper? That's normal. Okay, so I'm going to line that up right like so. Actually, let's see here. I think I may need to. Do you guys see that? My banner's a little bit longer. I'm going to just snip it. I know. It's crazy, but you can snip it. I'm just going to go in a little bit and in. I'm probably not even making this very straight, but that's okay. If you don't have the banner triple punch, you can cut banners by hand like I just did, but I'll tell you the banner triple punch makes it so much easier. Okay, so there we go. And I'm going to stick that right on top of this piece of Designer Series paper. So this is from the Bubble Over Designer Series paper, which you can get in the Celebration catalog. So you can't buy it. You can only earn it for free. And I love the heart side. And this measures at 3 3/4 by 5. So this is going to go right on the front. Oh, actually, before I stick it on the front, though, I'm going to grab some Daffodil Delight ribbon. And sorry, guys, I'm a little all over the place. As I was saying before, I was out of town last weekend, and I was crafting. So I brought all of my Stampin' Up! Stuff with me. And then I just got back, and I just put it all away. And so everything is put away instead of... Everything's put away, and now my phone's ringing. Let me turn that off. Okay. Anyway, I just put everything away, and so normally I would have this stuff out on the cards I'm working, but I designed this card over the weekend, and so obviously to transport it all home, I had to put my supplies away. Okay. And don't be surprised if my phone rings in just a second. Okay, now I can put adhesive on the back of this to go right like so. Right up to the very top. Oh my goodness. All right, let's hold on just one second. Okay guys, sorry about that. All right, so then I'm gonna take a piece of the Daffodil Delight, and I'm just gonna tie just a little bow on the front. And actually, this Daffodil Delight ribbon, it's the what do we call this? The double stitch ribbon. It's a little bit thick, so I find it easier to tie a bow this way. Do the bunny ear method and then stick it on. I just think it's a little bit easier than trying to tie it right on there. Okay. And actually, that looks pretty good. Look at that. Yay. Okay, so I'll just trim this down a little bit. Okay. And I'll grab a glue dot and stick this right on the front. But actually, before I stick it on, I want to glue it down. So I'm just going to set it aside real quick. Okay, so for my card base, I have the Wild Wasabi 8.5 by 5.5. I keep wanting to call it Cucumber Crush. You guys remember Cucumber Crush? That retired last year. I still miss it. And it was a little bit different than Wild Wasabi, but for some reason I keep wanting to call it that. All right. And then I have a piece of Whisper White cardstock. So this is cut at, let's see, 4 by 5 1/4. And we're just going to mount this right on top of that. Okay. So this was 4 by 5 1/4. This one should have been 3 3/4 by 5. And I think that's what I said to you. Anyway, remember, the dimensions at the bottom of the screen are always correct. Okay, then we have our little sentiment here. So we're just going to mount this onto a little piece of Wild Wasabi. So this one here is 1 1/4 by 2. And I'm going to grab a couple dimensionals. All right, and stick these on right here. And these are, this is going to go, oops, what are we doing here? Let's glue this one on first. Seriously, you guys, I'm all over the place today. All right. It's going right there. Then that is totally crooked. Oh my goodness, Amy. I think I'm having one of those days. One of my kids got, not bad news, but just some news. And anyway, I think I'm frazzled. Okay, this is going right here. Okay, my bow is going right on the front, right there. And then the last thing is I have some Daffodil Delight enamel shapes. And I'm going to use the hearts. And I'm just going to stick these Actually, these ones I'm going to stick on this side. 1 and 2. And so the Daffodil Delight is obviously in the Brights collection, these enamel shapes. So these would be the Brights enamel shapes. And that is my card. Isn't that so cute? And here's the one I did earlier. So the only thing different, my hearts are on the other side and they're a little bit further down. Isn't that cute? Oh, I guess on this one I stamped the Love You Watson Watson Calypso Coral. So you could see the difference. This one, I stamped it in black. This one's done in the Calypso Coral. So you can decide which one you like better. It really doesn't matter, though, what you do. They're both adorable, right? So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and stuck it out with me. Thanks, guys. Bye.